Hey guys, thank you for joining me on your mats today. My name is Ellen, if we haven't met before, and I am looking forward to bringing you this yoga practice from this incredibly beautiful environment of Bourron-Marlotte, a village in France. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. I hope these sounds and images bring zen and calm and peace into your practice, into your home. And the idea of today's practice is that we're going to warm up our bodies so that our muscles are nice and warm so we can stretch them out. And to do that, we're just going to do 5 sun salutation A. So very simple. You can stay connected to my voice or you can stay connected to your own breath. And then after that, we're going to keep a focus on stretching. So it's a good practice if you maybe do more physical exercise, if you have tight muscles, if you're walking around a lot and you're looking to stretch out those legs. We'll get into the shoulders a bit, but first we're going to warm up with some sun salutations. I'm directly in the sunlight, which I'm loving, and it's going to energize our flow. So we're actually going to begin this practice standing up. All right, so I don't have a mat with me. I get to have my feet directly in this awesome grass, which makes me very happy. But you're coming to the top of your mat, to the top of your space, whatever feels good here. And we're gonna just start in the samastiti, even standing pose. So the big toes are gonna come together. The heels are gonna be apart. We're going to activate the legs and drop the shoulders down. Imagining a string pulling the crown of the head up towards the sky and feeling that even grounding between both of our feet here. Begin with your eyes closed. You might keep your eyes closed through all of our sun salutations. Totally up to you. We're just going to focus on our breath for a few moments here. Watching each inhale and exhale as it travels in and out through the nose. Noticing any smells around you. I'm usually in Paris, so this fresh air is amazing to me. And with each breath out, you are letting go of any physical tension, any mental stress, anything that you do not need to think about for the next 30 minutes or so. You are completely releasing it from the mind. Let's warm up the shoulders just a little bit, taking a breath in to bring the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale to press them back and down. Twice more, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. And our last one, we're gonna find a nice big open mouth exhale and maybe a big shake of the body to totally release everything. So inhale, shoulders up. Releasing, jumping around, beginning to build the heat. Let's move into our first round of sun salutation A. Inhale to bring the arms up to the sky, bring the gaze up to the thumb. With an exhale, we're gonna fold over the legs. Take as deep as a bend as you wish in the knees. And in this forward fold, we want to make sure that there is a connection of the hands to the earth. So again, the knees might be super bent. Relax your head. Any last bits of tension, of stress, imagine them dripping out of the crown of the head, rolling off the shoulders. And we're going to breathe into a halfway lift. The fingers might come all the way up to the thighs in this first round. They might stay at the shins. They might stay on the floor, but if they connect to the body, maybe just use this moment to press the thumbs into the muscles. Spine is long, parallel to the earth, neck is long. And let's exhale to press the hands down, stepping back to a plank pose and holding for 3 breaths here. The heels press to the back, crown of the head reaches forward. We're beginning to build heat in the arms, in the core as we pull our belly up to the spine. And exhale, let's release the knees down. Elbows stay glued in as we lower the upper body. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, gaze up, baby cobra. And exhale for your downward facing dog. And we're gonna hold this for 5 breaths. And here in our first round, feel free to make this as dynamic as you'd like. You can take any movements that are feeling good here, get into the hips, shake the head, yes and no. Making sure your feet are hip width distance, your hands are shoulder width distance, and just exploring how this downward dog feels today. Let's look forward between the hands with our next breath in. Right foot steps forward and then the left, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, release over the legs. Inhale, ground evenly into the feet, bend the knees as we rise up and gaze at the thumbs. And exhale back to our Samastiti. That's our first round. We're gonna move a little bit more quickly, and you know your sun salutations. Feel free to take any variations that you like to take in your practice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold over. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back to plank. Connected to the rhythm of your own breath, we release the knees, the chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths again here. I have a lot of flies flying around my head. It's nice to be connected to the nature though. Relax your neck. Ants crawling on my ankles. And make sure that you can hear your breath. You want to be making the sound of the sea with your ujjayi breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then there's a slight constriction in the back of the throat with each exhale. Last round of breath here. Inhale to look forward. Right foot steps forward and the left, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise. And exhale, mountain pose. Last 3 rounds, 1 breath, 1 movement, taking the variations of your choice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float back, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees, step or float, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Mountain pose. Maybe you close your eyes, last 2 rounds, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands plant, step or float through your vinyasa. Maybe you skip this part. Maybe you just come straight to down dog. That's totally fine too. Inhale, gaze forward. Step or float, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, mountain. This last round, I'm inviting you to do totally on your own. I'm gonna stay silent here so you can connect to your breath. And taking as much time as you need. Whenever you're ready, arriving back with thumbs at the heart space, with eyes closed. Observing the heartbeat that's happening underneath your thumbs. Noticing its pace. noticing any changes in your breath and feeling the warmth in the muscles. Hopefully you're feeling more loose, more warmed up than when we started. Take one more beautiful round of breath in here. And exhale, flutter open the eyes, release the arms. We're gonna move into stretching. If you feel you're not warmed up enough yet, feel free to pause the video, go on a little run, or do another vinyasa sequence. Otherwise, we're gonna start with our hips and our frog pose. As we open the feet a little wider than hip width distance, toes pointing at a 45-degree angle out, hands to the heart, and take your time bending the knees, slowly bringing the hips down so that the elbows are pressing into the knees and the knees are pressing back into the elbows. And perhaps you choose to close your eyes here. If the heels aren't touching the floor today, that's really completely fine. You might choose to put something underneath the heels. You could fold up your mat if that's more comfortable. You'll get there eventually. And really think about keeping your spine long and your heart shining forward. And to feel the stretch in our hips here, we need to press the elbows against the knees and the knees back into the elbows. So there's two actions happening here, and you'll feel the difference if you just hang out slack like this versus keeping, lots of ants, keeping that engagement of your muscles. Take two more breaths. Relax your shoulders. Maybe you use your hands for support as you gently release and bring the hips to the floor and come into a comfortable seat as I put my sunglasses back on, sitting directly in this beautiful sunlight. We're going to find our Janu Sirsasana. So extending our right leg long in front of us and pressing the left foot inside of the right thigh, squaring our shoulders. The more we keep this right foot active, toes back to the face, the deeper the stretch is going to be. Inhale to bring your arms up. And exhale, as you reach forward, hinging here at the hips, think about keeping the spine as long as possible. And you might catch a hold of your foot. You might catch a hold of your ankle. You might be on the fingertips. You might have the knee a little bit bent. It doesn't matter where you are today, as long as you're observing that stretch behind the right leg, keeping the right foot active, and really trying to keep the length in our spine. If you can keep that length in the spine, feel free to relax the head here. Try to draw the shoulders away from the ears. And notice any sensations happening in the right leg. Notice any resistance. If you find your mind wishing for this pose to end, if you have tight hamstrings here, just observe those thoughts. Remind yourself that nothing lasts forever. Connect back to the breath. Last round here. And as we breathe in, we'll reach the arms forward, up, letting them go. And keeping the right leg extended in front of you, simply, I'm gonna turn this way, open the left knee towards the back. So now you have a wider open hip pose in the legs here. We're gonna find a side body stretch, bringing the right hand inside of the right knee, side of the calf, inhaling the left arm up, and exhaling to reach towards the right foot. And you should feel this awesome stretch from the hip all the way through over the rib cage. This is one of my favorite places to be. You might touch your toes, you might not. Try to think about keeping the rib cage rolled up. And then breathe into it, remembering that with our stretching, each breath in is an opportunity to find more length. Each exhale, we can fold a little deeper, squeeze in the belly, find more space. Last breath in, and exhale. Allow your body to simply melt forward between the legs. Try to keep the sit bones down on the floor. You can use a pillow or your hands if your head is all the way at the floor. If you're lifted up like this, that's totally fine too. One more round of breath. Slowly stack the spine one vertebrae at a time, and we'll switch our legs. So now our left leg extends long in front of us. Janu Sirsasana, it means head to knee pose, but again, we're not diving down towards the knee. We're trying to bring our belly to the thigh, our chest to the knee, crown of the head to the toes. Left toes are active. Inhale, arms up. And exhale to fold forward. You'll notice one leg will have, a little bit this way, have a little more space than the other leg. Again, make this observation without any judgment. And then come back to the Ujjayi breath. Breathe through any resistance. Last round of breath here. And then breathe in, reach forward with the fingers, reach up, up, up. Let it go. And now we're gonna open that right knee towards the back, so the left foot just stays where it is. And our hips open up to this wider angle. Left hand comes inside of the knee, the calf. Our right arm reaches up. And exhale to reach towards those left toes. You might tickle them, you might not. You might hear the church bells now that go off. Very peaceful. Visualize the space coming between each rib with each breath in. Last round of breath here. And allow an exhale to melt your body forward. Between both the legs, you might support your head with your hands, maybe a pillow, maybe coming down to the forearms. Last round of breath here. And then inhale, stack the spine up. Bring both the legs together. We're going to move into a Paschimottanasana. It's like our Janu Sirsasana, but with both of our legs. We're flexing the toes back to the face. We're keeping the shoulders over the hips. You might use your hands for support to begin. The legs might be so active that the heels actually come off of the floor. Relax the shoulders down. Make a big swooping motion here with the arms to bring them up to the sky. Feel that length happening in both sides of the body. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, reaching forward, maybe catching the outside of the feet, the big toes, the ankles, the calves. Again, if you're holding on to the body, maybe you use this opportunity to press the thumbs into the muscles. This one is super intense. It's always been a challenging pose for me. If you have tight legs, you really might just stay here practicing on keeping the spine long, you might bend the knees and notice that you still feel a really nice stretch behind the legs. Find a place that works for you today. Every day we show up to the mat, our body's different. Especially if you've been quarantining recently for 2 months. Let's breathe in to bring the arms back up. And exhale to release the arms down. Our last hip stretch here is our Supta Baddha Konasana. The soles of our feet are going to come together. You can catch a hold of the ankles. Maybe you bounce the knees a few times. In this posture, the closer you keep the feet to the hips, the deeper the stretch will be in the hips. If you move the feet further away, you're going to feel it more in the hamstrings. Find a place that works for you. And what I'm going to encourage you to do in this pose today is to literally become as heavy as possible with your upper body. We don't worry about our straight spine. We just worry about nothing. And we try to relax every muscle in the body here. So breathe in. Begin with length. Hold on to those ankles. And then exhale to melt, 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 melt. And you might allow the backs of the hands to melt into the floor and keep the palms up. And visualize something here that you are letting go of. Releasing it from your mind, from your body, something, a thought, a physical pain that you are not going to take with you into the rest of your day. Let the head be totally relaxed. And take 5 deep breaths here, allowing every muscle to be let go. Gravity is doing the work for us. And sometimes we find that it's so much harder to be still and to release our muscles than it is to be active and go for runs and do sun salutations. Trying to resist that temptation to fidget, to move, to clench muscles. And just breathing. Last breath here. Inhale to roll up. Close your knees. Give them a really big squeeze. Depending on the surface behind you, be careful with this movement, but if it feels good and it's not too intense, you can hold the backs of the knees and allow yourself to rock back. And just take a few rocks here if that feels good. Eventually coming down to the spine, bringing the knees to the chest, and rocking from side to side. And we're gonna find our spinal twist here. Taking a breath in. And a deep breath out. Before we twist, bring the right leg long onto the floor. Bring the hands behind the left thigh and slowly extend the left leg into the air, pointing and flexing the toes, making circles of the ankle. And the knee might be really bent, and that is completely cool. If you have a strap, you might use it to wrap around the foot, making a little deeper stretch. Take one more breath in. Allow the knee to come back to the chest. And exhale, drop the knee to the right. gazing over the left shoulder. Oh, finding this awesome twist. Rinsing out the body, rinsing out the mind, creating space for whatever positivity and joy you want to bring into your day. Inhale, bring the knee back to center. Right knee comes up to meet the left. We drop the left knee to the floor. Hands come behind the right thigh. And then bring the right leg into the air. Maybe the knee is super bent. And just get into that ankle a little bit. Point and flex the toes. You'll feel this maybe in the calf as well. Making circles with the ankle. Exploring the space you have in this leg. You might put a strap over the foot. You might keep the knee really bent. Whatever feels good. Bring the knee back to the chest. And drop the knee over to the left side, gazing over the right shoulder and twisting in the other way. Allow the arms to fall in whatever way feels the most comfortable for you. Your breath is natural. Totally releasing. Last breath. Inhale to come back to center. Wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a big hug. Tell yourself that no matter how far you stretch today, if you didn't touch your toes, none of that matters. It's about showing up to your mat every day. It's about gaining more space every time we show up in the body and in the mind. Let's take our last moment of intensity as we bring the forehead up to the knees. We'll squeeze every single muscle in the body here, the face, the fingers, the toes. Deepest breath in you've taken yet so far today. Exhale to drop into a savasana. We're gonna hold here in this corpse pose, not very long, 30 seconds to a minute. If you prefer a seated meditation, you're obviously welcome to go there. Otherwise, grant yourself this time, this important moment of meditation, to just be completely present, to let every muscle in the body melt away. To remind yourself there is nowhere else you need to be, there is nothing else you need to be doing. As you enjoy a few minutes, few moments, few seconds of peace. If you feel ready, perhaps you begin to find movement. Perhaps you stay in your meditative pose for another 10 minutes or 10 hours or however long that feels good. If you'd like to come back with me, begin to make movements in your fingers and your toes, whichever posture you've taken this meditation in. Maybe you find a really big stretch, bringing the arms over the head, moving in whatever direction feels good, and slowly, carefully, mindfully, meeting in a seat if you're not already there. Close your eyes, thumbs to the heart. I just like to end this practice with one of our most important muscles, our muscle of gratitude. Finding gratitude here for our beautiful Mother Earth. Look at this incredible nature that we must protect, our only home. Gratitude here for the people we love, who bring us joy. And gratitude for yourself for taking time out of a busy day for the health of your body and your mind. We'll bring our thumbs up to our third eye for one last breath together. We breathe in and exhale. We'll bow forward as one. Namaste. And thank you again so much for taking the time to do this video. And if you have any questions, let me know. Any requests for future videos, let me know. I hope to connect with you again soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.